Well, guys, welcome to the new project. I should be calling it Welcome to My Nightmare. What do we got? 1963 XL Falcon ute that I've just picked up. It's a bit sad in a few spots. I've had worse. She's a bit rusty in a few spots. But most of the panels aren't too bad. The sill panels are pretty ordinary. As you can see, the doors and all that are pretty good. Front guards and that are pretty good. Bonnet's good. Cowl and plenum chamber and all that looks good. Roof looks good. Yeah, it's basically original. All four of the hubcaps are there and they're getting bloody hard to get. And they're all in pretty good condition. Grill, surrounds and all that are there. It's even got the original Lucas headlights. Look at that. 144. I don't even know if it's supposed to run. I haven't even tried yet. Obviously needs a battery and there's no fuel hooked up. So on and so on and so on. Filthy, bloody, dirty. But it's basically complete. The motor actually has been remanufactured by Ford. Back then, I'll see if I can get a shot of the, hang on a minute, let's just go over and get the light. Oh, there's another bloody ongoing project. Not mine, belongs to a friend of mine. And we've just been doing a bit of work on that. Let's get the light. And I'll show you this, this little tag if I can. You don't see many of them nowadays, but if you look there, sorry, trying to do this all, yeah, it's remanufactured by Ford. I think it says it's about 40 thou over in the pistons, sorry, and mains and conrods are standard, I think, so that's interesting. But the plan here, sorry about my fingers in the way of the camera, the plan here is going to be patina. I'm not going to paint it. I'll fix the rust. It's got to be made roadworthy. It's not registered, obviously. I'll fix all the rust and try and match a similar colour somehow. If not, it might just be undercoat on those spots. A bit of work to do on the quarter there. The plan is, as I say, to rub it back and then try and protect. I think that anchor wax is the way to go. To try and protect the patina on the outside. It'll have new wheels and tyres, of course. Have to get new tail lights. Someone's reworked the back, obviously, because it was rusted out. That's all going. And what we're going to do at the back is fit that bumper. That'll do it good. Fit that bumper. I think it's off an X Series Ford. I'm not quite sure. Possibly XY, XR, X2, XW series, possibly. Not quite sure. Basically, everything's there. As I say, that's really the worst of it. But I reckon we can sort of clean that up to make it look acceptable. As I say, it's got to be roadworthy. Underneath, I'll lift it up in a minute and show you underneath. Interior is as to be expected. Yeah, very ugly. Roof's ugly. That's all got to be stripped out. A little bit of rust in the floor pan down there. 3-speed manual on the column. Yeah, needs a lot of tidy up, but I've had just as bad before. Some of you have seen one of my earlier videos on the Falcon gasser I did, which is basically the same model. It's a model before this. Still got the original 13 by 4.5 wheels on it. Got to get two back tyres, they won't hold air. I'll just get any bloody thing that fits. Standard Ford 5-stud pattern, I think. Just so I can move it in and out. But the plan is to strip it down, and there's a lot of once the rust is done in it, there's a lot of detailing in it. I've already had a bit of a play with some sandpaper, and that's going to be the theme of it. As I say, I don't want to be painting and all that jazz. It's just fixing everything that's there and making it roadworthy. But that sort of thing isn't a roadworthy issue. You know what I mean? It's not rust, it's so on and so on. You can call the car basically white. Grill's good, it just needs a little bit of a straighten up there. The surrounds and all that are good. I was just playing around with some metal polish. But yeah, there'll be no paint. I'll pull the motor and probably put gaskets and seals in it, just to make sure that's all right. But once again, that won't even be painted. It's all going to be original. I will rewire it. I'm not going to muck about with all of this crap. I don't know what happened. It's a regulator. It's got the generator. So regulators there, that'll have to be wired in, but I will pull the wiring, completely redo that with an aftermarket kit. I've got the other wiper arm. I think it had vacuum wipers in it. I haven't even had my head under the dash yet to have a look. If the vacuum wipers, they'll have to go. I'll put an two-speed electric setup in it, but that's it, guys. So yeah, watch this space. This could take bloody, 6 months, a year. But I will slowly do videos, and like how we did the tractor, I'll just do a bit here and there, and show you as I go what we come across and that, and go from there. The back's not too bad. All of that's original. Yeah, a few dents. What do you expect? It's a 1963 model. It's as old as me. That's what I call it, my birthday car, because it's 1963. Yeah, I'll put a new skin on the tailgate. You can get them. Reproduction, I think they're about $300. So yeah, and that's ugly. So that'll be all cut away. That'll take a lot of rust and that with it, and that'll be a bumper. And I reckon that'll look, I've seen it done before and it looks good, but there won't be huge, it won't be a bloody high horsepower V8 or anything like that. It's going to be pretty much stock as a rock. And there will be some sign writing done on the door. But that's much further down the track. So, yeah, let's get started. Let's have a quick look underneath, guys. That little chin panel is a bit crappy, but it's there. We can straighten it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously hit something here. Motor still turns over though. Wants a new control arm. That's pretty bent. Obviously, all of this stuff has to be pulled apart and checked. It's got to be roadworthy. Yeah, structurally, I mean, all of this looks pretty right. It's surface rust, but that's no big deal. We'll have to put all new bushings and that. All of this has to be fixed properly. What else can we see? Don't know, I haven't checked all the tie rods and that yet. Being a Ford, it'll need new top ball joints, but they're getting done whether it needs them or not. Exhaust is wonderful. Little 3-speed gearbox. It's not too bad, as I say. It's a lot of surface rust, but it'll come up. As I say, there won't be huge modifications or anything here. As I say, little 3-speed. Those mounts are probably broken, but you can get all that. Tail shaft, little diff. This is gone, but we don't need it. This is the old spare wheel carrier, and there used to be a floor here and a door that opened at the back. Obviously, all that's gone. That will be getting cut all out. This is surface rust, but it's savable. So that'll be getting all cut out. Don't know what the diff's like. It'll need brakes and stuff all around. The exhaust is, I don't think that's roadworthy. It might be all right, I don't know. I'll see, I'll put it through and see if it passes. Obviously we'll be putting shocks and that on it. New bushings in the springs and that. Ute springs actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, for about 7 or 8 leafs. The sedans only had about 3 or 4. Obviously being a ute, so it can carry a bit more. As I say, most of the body, it's dirty and muddy, but I don't think it's too bad. Structurally, at the main parts, it's pretty good. Just another, 3 or 4 years out in the paddock and it'll probably be all over. I don't know, but anyway, we'll tinker away. All this has got to be, someone's put an electric fuel pump in it at some stage. I doubt if any of that even works. And I wouldn't trust what's coming through it. Oil filter's just been done, as you can see. hoses feel all right. She's an ex-farmy, I'd say, ex-farmer's car. And yeah, but let's make something out of it. Just took the wheels off, as the back wheels. As I say, I've got to get some 2 tyres that'll hold a bit of air. Any piece of crap, just so I can move it in and out. There's a spot more rust there. Linings are probably all right, but the drum, that will have to be machined, may even have to be replaced, just depends on how much meat's left on it. So yeah, that's a bit sad, but these are the sorts of things that I would expect. As I say, chassis-wise, that's all right. It's got tons of mud under it, rust in there. Looks like someone might have already had a bit of a go at it. Yeah, they can see there, yeah, someone's had a bit of a crack at it. Might just cut that piece out, weld a new bit in. Yeah, so on and so on. What's the other side look like? Won't bother pulling that drum off. I already know what to expect. Yeah, see, that side's not too bad. A little bit of rust, but yeah, it's salvageable. As I say, this is all right. It's just bloody more dirt, but we can clean that up. Bump stops are still there. Basically, what we're going to start doing now is cutting off some of this crap and all that. We'll start cutting away the stuff that is beyond help. Old tow bar, look at that. Geez, I haven't had that sort for years. That's the one where the bolt goes right. There's a square under that, like a coach bolt, and goes right through it. Oh, you're not even allowed to have them anymore, I don't think. But yeah, gee, the tow bar's an oldie. Yeah, have to do something with these. I don't think that'll pass road, but there's a bottle top in there. Look at that. Someone's been having a beer or something at some stage. Yeah. Yeah, let's start having some fun with the angle grinder. Just cut one of those off on this side. Obviously, the back was pretty rusty. Someone's gone to a lot of trouble. They've got a bit of aluminium. Cut it and rivet it and... yeah, I mean, someone's put a lot of work into it. It's ugly, but someone has done a lot of work. But anyway, as I say, most of that, we'll save that. That's still quite solid, but anything underneath that is going to be abandoned because, as I say, that bumper's going on. The beauty of that is, looking at that bit of steel, that's really good. And I reckon I'll be able to use that to make some bumper irons for that bumper, and they will attach hopefully up in here somewhere where that old tow bar is, and that will serve as a mounting. So yeah, we'll save them because they're good bits of steel actually, and it'd be expensive to buy. So yeah, she looks ugly, but let's see what 12 months will do. Yeah, the things you find when you start cutting into an old car. Yeah, I may get a section there. Obviously, he did all that work at the back to hide all that rust. I mean, it was a pretty solid repair. Yeah, basically, we'll do a cut across here and down there. If possible, I'd like to try and save that. I think the repair quarters only come to about there. May trim that down there or maybe sculpt it to suit the bumper. That way, we're eliminating all of this. That is quite serviceable. All of that's got to go. That goes. Yeah, it looks ugly, but yeah, I think once you start removing some of this, I've already lost about bloody 10 kilo in dirt and panels already. So power to weight ratio is going to be good. That panel's still good up there. That's the original number plate lights up there. Yeah, this sort of stuff can be trimmed off. Yeah, cut there, so on and so on. Could probably remove those inner pieces too. Yeah, let's keep cutting. Rust. Yeah, that whole section there I'll cut out. And just, as I say, I don't even know if we need it. I don't even believe it's that structural. I don't think this has to meet any ANCAP. regulations. Yeah, some of this we may try and, don't know exactly, but I think that's just to add strength for the bumpers. I don't think it's anything structural, because the old bumperettes used to curl round in those holes there. Long gone, obviously. I think we can eliminate some of that. We might be getting the plasma cutter out and having a bit of fun with that. But yeah, I want to save that panel right across there. Yeah, these look like sleeves for the old tow bar. They can come off. Yeah. Well, we got the tail lights out. What you do is you just pop those panels in there. That's just a heap of screws. And there's 3 nuts, speed nuts on the back of them. 7/16 I think they are. 1, 2, 3, and you just undo them, and the tail light assembly comes out. What I'm doing now, the tailgate obviously needed work. I'm going to attempt to skin it. That actually screws on right round that panel there. That's quite salvageable. I can't undo these. They're obviously in rusty. I've tried the impact driver. I haven't tried any heat yet, but I figure if I pop that skin, then I can get in behind, do what have you, get a bit of heat, bit of WD-40, and pop them loose. I don't want to damage anything, you know what I mean? I want to try and sort of keep it as close to original in that sort of respect as possible. Yeah, so as I say, we've just drilled a few of these. I'm just about to see if that skin will pop off, and we'll see what sort of wonders are inside there. Isn't nature wonderful? Have a look. I lifted that skin up. They're that's the lock mechanisms. Have a look at what's been living in that. Look, there's all sorts of critters and stuff in there. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know what half of that is. There's a little bit of something. It's the things you find, I tell you. It's bloody incredible. I don't know what that's. Don't know what goes on there. I was hoping to get at those bolts. I should still be able to. But yeah, look at that. We'll be able to reuse that. I'll straighten it all out and put some tar. I'll clean that bit of rust off, treat that. That'll do for the inside. I can get that skin. So yeah, yeah, we'll see about the tailgate. Should be able to do something with it. Yeah. Anyway, is what it is. Well, we got the tailgate off, guys. Bit of heat, bit of drilling, bit of hammering, all of that. This panel will have to be straightened up and tidied up. It'll just have an undercoat or probably that black tar on it, same as that. It's not going to be anything fantastic, as I said. Yes, I got that off. Just about to skin the door. We want to keep that part. And the skin's going, so I'm ordering a new skin. So yeah, we're just going to run the grinder along, and hopefully that'll break away that edge, and I can chuck the skin and order a brand new one. Well, a panel beater I'm not, guys, but we're getting there. We got the skin off, as you saw. Now we're just working on the basic frame, and as you can see, that's part of the old skin that was folded over. Now we've got to get rid of that, obviously, so I'm just grinding the little spot welds away. This is all pretty bent, it's got to be all straightened, cleaned all the rust off. Bit of welding there, that corner's a bit flimsy. That's part of the, that's part of it there, part of the old skin. So we'll just go along, we'll find the spot welds, grind them, and this will have to be cleaned right up and treated, and then we can do this piece, which is the inside, or the bit that goes inside that part of the ute. Treat it all, panel beat it, treat it all, and then we can screw all that back together. We can put all the door innards, the tailgate innards, which is the latch assembly and all of that. That can go back in, and then when we get the skin, it's just a matter of lining it all up, peeling it over, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. Bit of a repair down here, guys. That was all busted. I mean, look, it's pretty sad and rusty, as you can see. But just got to finish off a little repair there, because that piece was actually broken right through and it was flopping around. So we fixed that. We'll patch a couple of rust holes. Bit of a split there. I've ordered the new skin. Pretty pricey, but you don't have a lot of choice. If I was in Melbourne, I wouldn't be paying postage, obviously, which is about $60. But anyway, that's that piece done. Almost. We can clean it up, clean all the rust off. That's the edge where the skin peels over, so that's all got to be spotless. I'm hoping it's not too hard to peel that skin over it. And then, of course, we can get some rust protection for the back of that and panel beat that a bit and piece those two together. That actually screws to the back of that. So that's pretty easy, and there's a bit of a bend in that too. I'll have to square that up. But other than that, it's not coming up too bad, that piece. I'll clean it all up and it should be all right. Tailgate's starting to go back together, guys. I straightened up all that frame as best I could. All that one. I've mucked around with that panel as best I could. The beauty of it is it doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, it's still rusty and shitty in the corner up there, I know. It's never going to be beautiful, but you don't see in there. So I'm going to rust treat it all, and we've got a new skin coming, as you know. Didn't come up fairly bloody solid. I've got to trim that back a little bit. Not trim it, just tap that back a little bit with the hammer and dolly, but put new screws in it, as you can see. Couple of spots of rust, but when you bend over that skin, it'll be all right. As I say, that's crappy, but I mean, well, yeah, what do you want? The whole car's going to be a rat rod build. I can't see the sense in spending millions of bucks on panel work on it. Yeah, it might be trying to like polish a turd, I don't know, but I'd rather spend more time and effort on making sure mechanically things are right. You know, I've got all new bolts for the hinges and all that sort of stuff. I'd rather mechanically she's 100%, as opposed to a little bit of sort of body roughness. Big deal. It doesn't make it unroadworthy. I was playing around with the sander. Got dust all over it. That's going to be the sort of look we're going for. Obviously, you know, put some anchor wax or something on it. A lot more work to be done, but I mean, sort of looking at it from this perspective, bodywork's not done, but I mean, you know, gee, we don't have to pull doors and sand back to bare metal and fill and weld, and so, but mechanically, yeah, that's where the big work is, and in detailing, you know, so, I mean, across the back's got to be tidied up. It won't be anything beautiful, but I want it straight, you know what I mean? The more it looks like that, the more it's sort of going to look unroadworthy. It doesn't matter if it is or isn't, it looks it. It's not going to look roadworthy anyway, but it will be, so, actually, I already had a copper already looking at it, just out of curiosity. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Very rough test fit. Just basically sat it in there, but that's not come up too bloody bad. Once the skin's on it, of course. And tar in the back of that, that'll fix all that. Just looking at the line, there's a slight curve that way. I'll change that, I'll fix that before I put the skin on. I'll just stand on that about there, just to sort of get that a little bit more straight. But that's not bad. This bottom lip's got to be done. But, yeah, I mean, looking at that, that'll be about 1,000 times better than what it looked when I got it. New skin, and we'll just patina the skin to look like the rest of it, and yeah, that should be, you know, that'll be a good solid tailgate. Nothing like new toys. Just got the skin for the tailgate, and yeah, looks great. It's got the hole in the middle. Mine didn't have the hole in the middle, but I think there's a fancy little emblem that goes there, but I'm not too stressed about that. It will have to be patinaed, and I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that, because I want it to look like that, obviously. So maybe if I put down some red oxide first, and then some sort of a a cream colour and then sand it back might give me the effect I want. As I say, this is all trial and error because I've never done this before. So, but anyway, yeah, we're just getting the other part of the tailgate ready now, and yeah, we'll come to put it together shortly. So I'll show you what's going on when we do that. Just finished cleaning up all the linkages and all that sort of thing. That'll come up beautifully. Just give it a good sandblast and good clean out. Get the sand out of the springs and the mechanism. Bit of grease, bit of oil, and went in beautifully. It come up well. So if you turn it over, I also put I'll put new screws in, countersunk Allen key things. The old ones were pretty crappy. I thought, no, I'll put some new stuff in it and you know, just make sure it's, as I say, it's serviceable. I'll put some of that black stuff on that, or maybe not. I don't know yet. Anyway, we're just about ready to put the skin on. I put some of that tar stuff on the inside of it. I mean, it's not going to rust out in my lifetime unless you drop it in the sea, but we're just about ready to drop that on and see if it's going to fit. Well, the skin seems to fit all right. Maybe just a touch long, but that's got to be peened over, of course. Seems to fit all right up there. I've clamped it all down. Seems to have pulled up pretty flush. I guess we just sort of go along and tap that over. As I say, I've never done this before, but okay, how hard could it be? But yeah, obviously I need the clamp to pull it up a little bit in spots like that. Yeah, we'll just see how we go with all of that. The top's pretty straight. It needs a little bit of sort of pushing and shoving, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Yeah, we're getting there, guys. We put that skin on without too much drama. Seems to fit pretty well. Wants a little bit of a push and a shove here and there just to square it all up, but it's not bad. I've still got that trim to go across the top. That's got to be pulled in. Not bad though. I mean, shit, I'm no panel beater, but Christ, it's about 1,000,000 times better than what it was. Made one little boo-boo just there, but I can live with it. Christ, it's not going to be any worse than the side here. Yeah, as I say, it's got to be, you know, patinaed, but it's a good, you know, it's a good new tailgate. Looks acceptable and looks a damn sight better than a rusty old thing. So imagine it with the bumper underneath, and yeah, it won't be too bad in effect. I mean, I've seen the bumpers on these before; they look pretty good. But that looks a bloody sight better than the rust. And on that, having said that, I've learnt a lot too. Well, guys, the tailgate's basically done. Yeah, just give that a coat of that red oxide. So that's just drying. Then we'll put some white on that, and then we'll rub it back so it's patchy and sort of looks patinaed. I don't know if I'm doing this the right way or not, but this is just the way I'm going about it. Yeah, so I've got to touch that up there a little bit. We're going to start on this now. Just this back panel here. See how this is pretty warped and lousy. We want it obviously to be more like that. So we'll just go along, we'll peel that out and so on and so on. Clean all this inner section in here. I'd like to take those hinges out, but for the life of me, I can't undo them. And I might be opening up a can of worms if I do try, so let's just bloody well leave it. So yeah, so anyway, we'll start with this along here and see what happens. Just cut a couple of sections off the back that were a bit rusty. We can get in there now and patch this up. Put another bit over the top of that, weld it up nice. A bit rusty there, but no big deal. Yeah, no, that'll come up all right. It's plenty of rubbish coming out of the old rails and that, but no, we'll be able to do something with them. It's a little bit of rust there, but just a Now we'll patch up a couple of panels, and that'll sort of fix that up. We'll weld it up, clean it up, and that'll be fine. Yeah, I mean, by the time you get to this stage of the car, it's probably not that structural, but that's starting to look much better. Doing a few rust repairs, guys. Welded up in there, that was all rusted, basically like that. So we just did that with a bit of MIG and just on real low temperatures or whatever the hell you call it. And there was also rust in there, so I cut a section out, welded it in. Not too bad. I mean, look, I'm no panel beater, but that looks a hell of a lot more acceptable than what a rusty grade oil does. So we'll put a bit of red oxide on it, and then it'll be getting some of that really thick tar paint. You will never know that that's been repaired. There we have it, guys. One tailgate basically done. My little rust repair looks all right. Still a bit tacky with the paint. Did a little repair there. They're all right. Cleaned up all these brackets and that. This one just wants a bit of adjusting. It's binding a bit on that pin. So that's making that hit down there. So that wants a little bit of TLC. But yeah, I cleaned them all up. That looks better than overspray. Tailgate come up not too bad. As I say, that thing there binds a little bit. If I can do this there, that's got to go there. Sort of. There sorry about the camera work. There she is. That didn't come up too bad along the bottom. It's not perfect, but that's not bad. Yeah, it looks all right. The gaps, obviously a heap of gap there. Very little there. I don't know what I can do about that. There's no real adjustment that I can see, or it's all locked up. Anyway, we'll push and shove a bit. But imagine that patinaed like the rest of the car. That looks a damn sight better than rust. With the bumper on, that's going to look pretty trick. Going to get stuck into the back here, guys. Pulled all those inner liners out. No real surprises in there. Basically, the quarters are pretty good. We're just going to get in there and blast it with the pressure cleaner and clean it up as best we can. Took those plugs out there. That's where you get at the top of the shockers. So I want to get in there and clean up all that jazz. Yeah, just have a real good tidy up. And once that's done, I want to start organising that rear bumper. Because, yeah, where the chassis rails are and all that, it's all really dirty. So just want to give it a bit of a tidy up, and we'll continue. Well, guys, that's part one. Yeah, a long way to go, obviously. But, yeah, the tailgate and that come up pretty nice. Yeah, we'll continue on underneath in part two. Take care, guys. We'll talk to you real soon.